You eat less bread. You avoid pasta. You check every nutrition label before it goes into the cart. And the belly fat is still there. It clings, like it made a decision to stay. Here is what most people never find out. Your body does not primarily respond to calories. It responds to insulin signals. And even people who have cut out bread and sweets for months are still triggering insulin spikes every single day with foods that are marketed as healthy, light, or natural. Most nutritionists, most diet guides, and most supermarket shelves have never explained why. Which means you may have been fighting your own body every day without knowing what weapon it is using against you. That changes today. And by the end of this video, at least one item on your shopping list tomorrow will be different. Oh! Sighed. The real problem is not sugar alone. The real problem is insulin and what it does to your fat cells. Think of insulin as a strict bouncer standing at the door of a VIP club. Your fat cells are behind that door. As long as the bouncer is standing there, as long as your insulin is elevated, nobody gets out. No fatty acid leaves the cell. No stored energy gets mobilized. Your body literally cannot access its own reserves. This means, as long as your insulin is high, it does not matter how little you eat or how much you move. Fat burning is simply switched off, biologically, completely. Insulin has a counterpart. It is called glucagon. Think of the two as a seesaw. Insulin up, fat burning off. Fat burning off. Glucagon up, fat burning on. What you eat decides at every moment which side the seesaw is on. 250 calories more fat burning, just from choosing differently. That is not a coincidence. That is biochemistry. And that is only half the story. Oh! Sighed. Now here is the mistake that roughly 99% of people make, and it quietly cancels everything else out. You know you should avoid sugar. You know white bread has to go. But there are 5 foods you are probably eating every day because you believe they are safe, because they are marketed as light, natural, or healthy. And those 5 foods are still driving your insulin upward. First, rice cakes. They are considered the responsible alternative to chips and bread. According to international glycemic index tables published in the journal Diabetes Care, rice cakes have a glycemic index of 82. White bread sits at 75. Rice cakes raise your blood sugar faster than the white bread you deliberately remove from your kitchen. That is not a nutrition myth. That is biochemically measurable. Second, low-fat yogurt. The word light on the packaging is misleading. What the industry removes in fat, it replaces with sugar to rescue the flavor. A typical low-fat fruit yogurt contains 15 to 20 grams of sugar per serving. That is the equivalent of 4 to 5 sugar cubes going directly into your insulin response. Third, dried fruit. Dried mango, raisins, cranberries, they sound natural, and they are. But the drying process concentrates the sugar dramatically. A handful of dried fruit can deliver more sugar than a bar of milk chocolate. Your insulin responds accordingly. Fourth, fruit juice labeled no added sugar. That label does not mean no sugar. Fructose, the fruit sugar in juice, is a fast train directly to your liver. No other organ wants to deal with it. Insulin resistance grows quietly, out of sight, over weeks and months. Fifth, fruit in large quantities. Fruit is not the enemy. But a bowl of grapes in the evening, a large fruit salad after lunch, 3 bananas throughout the day, that adds up to a fructose load your body can no longer process cleanly. You are treating the symptom. You are never addressing the cause. So what do you eat instead? Oh! Sighed. Low carb does not mean deprivation. It means selection. The right selection. I have grouped 20 specific, everyday, immediately available foods into 4 categories based on the mechanism they trigger in your body. That way you understand not just what to eat, but why. Group 1. The Protein Foundation. Have you noticed that after a breakfast with eggs, you feel no hunger until noon, but after muesli, you are back at the fridge 2 hours later? Most people assume it comes down to calories. More calories in the muesli, more energy, more satiety. That sounds logical. It is not what is actually happening. Here's what happens in your body. Protein does not primarily stimulate insulin. It stimulates glucagon. The seesaw tips toward the fat-burning side. At the same time, protein keeps the satiety hormone GLP-1 elevated for hours. Your stomach sends the fullness signal, and you eat less without trying to. The 5 foods in this group, eggs, salmon, tuna, chicken breast, sardines, all have under 1 gram of carbohydrates per serving. Serving! All stimulate glucagon. All keep GLP-1 elevated. Sardines in particular are underestimated. Not eating more, eating right. Group 2, the fat burners. Have you noticed that after a meal with avocado or a drizzle of olive oil, you have no appetite for anything sweet for hours? Most people assume fat makes you fat, so they avoid it wherever possible. Low-fat products, light dressings, dry chicken strips with nothing on them. Here is what most people never find out. Dietary fat triggers almost no insulin response. Nearly zero. It gives the insulin bouncer literally nothing to do. The fat cells stay unlocked. At the same time, fat provides a slow, stable energy source. No blood sugar spikes, no insulin spikes, none of the familiar hunger crash 2 hours after eating. The 5 foods in this group, avocado, extra virgin olive oil, butter, macadamia nuts, coconut oil, all have 0 to 2 grams of carbohydrates per serving. A 2008 paper published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition by Dr. Fat does not make you fat. Group 3. The Green Arsenal. Have you ever removed spinach, zucchini, or cucumber from your plan because you thought even vegetables have carbohydrates, better to be careful? Your body processes them as volume, not as an energy source. Your stomach fills. The feeling of fullness arrives. The insulin bouncer stays asleep. The 6 foods in this group, spinach, zucchini, cucumber, celery, asparagus, arugula, all have under 2 grams of net carbohydrates per 100 grams. Asparagus is the secret weapon of this group. It contains inulin, a fiber that directly feeds the gut bacteria responsible for improving insulin sensitivity. Every time you eat asparagus, your gut is working for you. That is your tool. Group 4, the surprises. Pay close attention here. These 4 foods do not appear on any standard low-carb list. And that is exactly what makes them the strongest argument in this video. Yeah! Have you ever cut out dark chocolate because you assumed all chocolate is bad for your insulin? Most people think chocolate equals sugar, full stop. Here is what most people never learn. Dark chocolate with 85% cacao or more contains less than 5 grams of sugar per 20-gram serving. It contains flavonoids that research suggests may actively improve insulin sensitivity, and it stimulates the brain's reward system without tipping the insulin seesaw. 2 or 3 squares in the evening, no guilt. No insulin spike. Flax seeds and chia seeds have almost no usable carbohydrates. Both expand in the stomach and extend satiety for hours. Both provide omega-3 fatty acids that may help reduce low-grade inflammation in the body, and chronic inflammation is one of the most significant drivers of insulin resistance. And full-fat hard cheese, Gouda, Parmesan, Emmental, contains under 1 gram of carbohydrates per serving. It delivers calcium, protein, and fatty acids that research suggests help keep insulin levels stable. The word full fat sounds like exactly what you should avoid. It is precisely the opposite. Full fat is not your enemy. Oh! Sighed. Now let me give you 3 practical ways to use this starting tomorrow. Bonus tip 1. Always combine a protein source from group 1 with a fat from group 2. Egg with avocado, salmon with olive oil. This combination keeps the insulin seesaw on the glucagon side the longest and makes the hunger crash after eating the exception rather than the rule. Bonus tip 2. Eat the vegetables from group 3 before the main course, not after. The fiber buffer slows the absorption of every other nutrient that follows and dampens the insulin response of the entire meal, even if something higher in carbohydrates comes afterward. Bonus tip 3. Save the surprises from group 4 for the evening. While your body recovers overnight from the day's insulin spikes, flavonoids and omega-3 fatty acids may actively help restore insulin sensitivity for the next morning. Oh! Sighed. These 20 foods are not a diet. They are not a restriction. They are the difference between a body that fights its own bouncer every day and a body that has finally been given an honest explanation of how it actually works. You started this video frustrated. You had been doing the right things, checking labels, cutting bread, choosing light options, and it still was not working. Now you know why. The problem was never your discipline. It was the missing information. Tomorrow morning, before you reach for the rice cakes or the low-fat yogurt, you have a different option. 1 egg with half an avocado, a handful of sardines, 2 squares of dark chocolate tonight instead of dried fruit. Start with 1 swap. 1 is enough to begin shifting the seesaw. Which of these 5 hidden insulin triggers surprised you most? And which one have you been eating regularly thinking it was helping you? Write it in the comments. I read every single one. In the next video, I will show you the meal sequence that research suggests may lower your insulin response by up to 40% without eating less and without cutting out a single food. That is not a small thing. Make sure you do not miss it. Subscribe and hit the bell so you are notified the moment it goes live. Oh! Sighed. Everything shared in this video is based on published research and real-world experience. It is not a replacement for individual medical advice. If you have a specific health condition or take medication, please speak with your doctor before making significant dietary changes.